My name is Nathan Potter. I was sitting in the middle of the jungle with Pastor Joel Wayne, and he asked me the question, is your heart here in the Philippines, or is your heart in Michigan? And without hesitation, it caught me off guard, but I said, my heart is here. It's in the Philippines. I am a transformed follower of Jesus, and I have been called to go.
We know that we, as transformed followers of Jesus, we get to respond in three specific ways. We ask people to be a part of groups, and we ask people to live in relationship with each other in those groups. We want people to give of not only their resources, but of their time and their talent, their energy. But we also are asking that over 500 adults give of the willingness, the comforts that they may have day to day, and to go on mission. And Nathan Potter is one of those who's being called to go. Years ago, when did you first start going to the Philippines?
2007, it was right before we had our first child.
Okay. Your wife, though, she was raised at least part of the time in the Philippines, yes?
Yeah, her dad was in the military. She grew up on an Air Force base. Spent many years of her life, her childhood there. She feels like it's home in a lot of ways.
And then you guys are in Savannah. She starts going on mission, that would be our language,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Back to the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
She loves it, and then what happens?
Well, she wants me to go. She wants me to experience it. And
Yeah.
I was resistant, I think, just because I had checked the box of missions. Almost like I had finished doing the
Yeah.
mission. And that's not at all biblical.
Yeah.
But under maybe a little conviction and just in an effort to partner with my wife, I jumped in. I went on a trip, fell in love with the place,
Yeah.
fell in love with the people, a country that is so receptive to the gospel. The people are just in their beauty, they just have joy. And I connected with it in a powerful way.
You end up taking 20 or so trips there. I remember you joined me here in the ministry 7.5 years ago. You started on Easter.
Yeah, Easter Sunday.
7 years ago, 7.5 years ago. And one of the questions in the interview process before we were able to hire you is you asked what I do, Pastor, with this love that I have for the Philippines. I said, well, just trust God.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I felt like maybe I would have to put it away, like put it in a box and
Yeah.
put it on the shelf. But a year and a half later, Lauren and I and our two kids, Addie and Liam, we actually took our first family mission trip. Just the four of us went under the support of Chapel Point. I remember Joel saying, your family needs to go do this.
Yeah.
And that was really a huge turning point for our family, to see our kids thrive in that culture, to make connections with the people there so quickly.
So then your whole family goes, and then we were supposed to go together just before COVID. That got shut down, of course. So we ended up going back this last August, and a long story short, the elders have agreed to support the Potters and being the sending church for them, but also to look at what it means to have almost a kingdom expansion branch of Be the Church in the Philippines.
Yeah.
What would it look like for this church to have that presence? And so now you're looking at going, and I have so respected what it has been to sit where I am and to watch you lead your family. And there have been two questions I want you to speak with them about, because you came to me and you said, man, I really want to do this, but then you were trying to lead your family through
Yeah.
it. Tell very quickly, tell them
Yeah,
that.
I think it's just recognizing the difference between our own desire and our call. And I think I personally desired to go, but there was a call that was
Yes.
just so evident.
Yeah.
And so really processing that with our kids, if our family is being called to this, really our only answer is yes, it's an obedience. All of our desires and our wants are just kind of irrelevant. If we are truly on mission with God, going where He's leading, if that means sell everything and go, then that's what we do.
That's what you do.
And I think even in my own heart, I've had this natural desire to go, but it wasn't until recently that I actually realized, no, this is an obedience, that God is calling me, and God, I want to say yes. And it's almost like He's saying, no, I'll invite you into this.
Yeah.
You will go because I
Yeah.
say you will go.
Oh, that's good.
And so that's kind of released the pressure of trying to figure out, are there pros and cons? No, there's really no pros and cons. There's no personal preference anymore if we are just following God with where He's leading.
And so we're all being called to go. And you're going to be able to hear over the coming months, right?
Yeah.
And everything that's taking place, more of even this story. But where is God calling you to go? What does that look like? Be praying for them, but be praying about that as well. Where is God calling you to go? God is working. God is moving. We get to be used by Him. And may He receive all the glory.